Hi, Danny V, and this is The Scoop, brought to you by our friends at Urka Auto Center and Safe Harbor Credit Union. And I'm here today with Jack O'Malley. Hey, Jack.
Good morning.
One DJ to another.
There you go.
And now you're doing things great for us here in Michigan, in our district. Tell me a little bit about your background. I'd like to, learn. I mean, obviously, as a kid growing up, I've heard you on the radio. Now that makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Well, I started when I was 11.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. That's true. So, how are things going, man?
Well, they're good. And, just a little bit about myself for those who might not know. I was born and raised in Detroit, and lived there till I was about 20. And then the radio bug hit, and my first job was in a little town in Sullivan, Indiana, a 500-watt radio station in the Wabash Valley. And then I migrated north, and WTCM in Traverse City offered me a job in '84, and I've been here ever since, raised a family, and I grew. I'm a Michigan guy, and I grew to love Northwest Michigan. This is my home.
Nice, and it's a beautiful place to live.
Oh, it is a fantastic place to live.
And you decided, hey, I'm gonna do something different, getting out of the radio world, and said, hey, I want to help our communities out there.
Yeah, I always looked at radio, and I'm sure you did too, as we were there to entertain, obviously, but we were also there to inform and educate. And so I always tried to use my morning show as also not just the time and the temp and the weather of the day and the sports scores, but
right.
Hey, here's what's going on, here's what's happening. And if an organization needed some publicity, I was happy to have them in and try and spread the word that way. So I always looked at it as a service-oriented job. And then the state rep position opened up, and I thought, let's give it a try. I think I can do a good job.
And now you've been there a year. How's that been?
Well, 8 months.
8 months. Okay, 8 months. Sometimes it can seem like a lifetime.
Now, I'll tell you, it's gone by in a blur. I'll answer it two ways. One of the big questions people ask me is, what's the biggest thing about it that you impressed you? And I would say the pace. I knew it was going to be fast, but when you're in Lansing for 3 days a week and then you're in district, you're not home, you're in district. Mm-hmm. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's go, go, go. And you've got two hats. One you're a legislator, the other you're a representative. So that the pace of it has really been something. But as chair of transportation, I'm going to guess that there's been other instances, but as a freshman, this first 6 months has been busy. I mean, focused so much on trying to get a solution and some good policy for our roads and how we move forward. It has been a blur. It has been fast, and it's been a lot of fun. I think we've got a lot of really good things ready to go.
Now, with some of the things that you've been dealing with, and I've seen it in the press all around, this gas tax thing that we're all screeching about, from the consumer to big companies.
Yeah.
What's your spin on that with what the governor's trying to have play on this 45-cent thing? Everyone went, and she started this in March or something.
Yeah,
I think everyone went, what?
Yeah.
So
no, I would say the 45 cents isn't going to happen. And
Good.
I think even the governor now realizes that with the budget negotiations. Recently, there was a story out that the Republicans were looking at a 15-cent gas tax increase, and that's not true either. And I think where that came from was our plan says, look, we want to take every tax penny paid at the pump, and it should go to roads. Currently, 6 cents is a sales tax. Mm-hmm. We want to take that 6-cent sales tax off, if you will, and make it a gas tax. So the tax amount wouldn't go up, but every tax penny at the pump would go to roads. On a $2.50 gallon of gas, that's 15 cents. That's where I think that came from.
Ah, okay. I'm glad you cleared that, because there's so many folks out there.
Oh my goodness!
And if you watch Facebook,
let me tell
you should hear the things they say.
Let me tell you something. Being in the middle of this, mm-hmm. I've read so much this summer, and none of it's true. I have no idea where they're getting the stories from. I read it and I'm thinking, never heard that. The 15-cent one was like, what? So, buyer beware when you read some of these stories out of Lansing.
Well, it has to be true. It's on the internet. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what everyone seems to not realize, that sometimes the rumor mill
What's
starts
funny?
and it travels quickly.
Well, what I've seen too out of the Lansing Press Corps, when the legislature isn't in session, they got to come up with a story.
That makes sense.
They still got stories to file. So I think that's part of it. I don't know, just my observation.
With the now November 1st, and I know some of our folks viewers want to know, with the marijuana licensing thing going in effect, is there any discussion on part of that dollars going towards our roads?
Well,
Because
you didn't read the proposal, because what everybody voted on last year, and I might not get the exact dollar percentages right, but a certain amount of the tax goes to regulation and study in the communities that are having marijuana sold. Some of it goes to schools, and there's something else. But the constitutional amendment that got passed says exactly where the tax dollars go. So none of it goes to roads.
Wow.
But everybody thinks that the tax from marijuana, it can go towards roads. Nope. You voted for it.
Yep.
People got to read everything.
And that's interesting, because that's what I was looking for. I'm like, I don't see it there, so I don't understand.
It wasn't.
And everyone's like, oh, well, we're going to have all of our money. Marijuana's going to go to roads. I'm like, well, I don't see that anywhere.
No, it was in the constitutional amendment.
I figured I asked the guy in charge of the transportation area.
Yeah. Be nice if it was, but it isn't.
Right. Well, what else is happening in your world now? How's adapting to the whole lifestyle from here to Lansing and all?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's a lot of miles, and as I said, with the chair of transportation job, I've been doing town halls across the state. I've got 2 more to go next week, and I've put on a lot of miles. I've seen a lot of people in the state of Michigan, talk to them about roads. So it's been personally very fulfilling. I do know, of course, obviously, that I also need to focus on the 101st. So a little bit later today, I'm meeting with the sheriff, and I've also going over to the Pregnancy Care Center. Then I'm headed up to the Manistee County Road Commission. So still, again, that balance between Lansing stuff, which is also 101st stuff because of the roads, but also making sure that I'm doing my job in the 101st and trying to do it as best I can.
Now, when we first met earlier, we discussed what people don't understand is that roads are being fixed. They're being fixed on the state highway level, and now we're just trying to figure out getting from the driveway to the highway and some of those things. You want to expand on that?
Sure. People, our governor, and I say this respectfully, when she was running for office, she had found a great campaign slogan, and she rode it to the finish line. And the point, though, is our roads are getting fixed. With the 2015 roads plan, we're going to be spending $5 billion on roads this year. That's a huge increase over just, I think it's 2012. We've gone from about $3.5 billion to $5 billion, and then with this package that hopefully will be decided on here in the next few weeks, we're going to add additional funds. So roads are getting fixed. And the other thing the governor talks about is we can do this in 10 years. Well, with our hearings, I asked a lot of people involved in roads, and their comment was, it could take 15. It takes 2 years, up to 2 years, to plan a major road, by way of engineering and everything. So it's going to take some time. So people really need to be patient. One of the things that I learned this summer, I was chatting with a gentleman who builds roads. He was in Southeast Michigan. They had to call law enforcement in to be on the job site because people were speeding, and they even had people go behind the orange barrels.
Yes.
So folks, patience. We're going to be seeing beautiful orange barrels for the next 10 to 15 years as our roads get fixed. So please be patient, be safe. Those road workers want to go home and hug their families each night.
Absolutely. Well, Jack, thank you for stopping
You
by
bet.
and seeing
It's
us,
great.
man. It was great to see you
Good
again.
seeing you.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, yes. And I have yet to get the gray, so I can be an older
I've had
gentleman.
that for a while.
Yeah. But they don't see his pretty face on radio. Now we see him. So, hey, I'm Danny V for Mason County Press. This has been a scoop brought to you by your friends at Safe Harbor and Urka Auto Center. Hi, this is Danny V at Urka Auto Center on US 10 right here in Ludington. And these are the new arrivals. 2016 GMC Yukon SLE. Someone's got to tell me what all these letters mean. One owner, 4x4. It's got a tow package, new tires, no accidents, fully serviced, and very hard to find. I found it. It's right here. Yes. Come on down. Coming up right now, 2007 Chevy Impala LT. Hey, it's plain old transportation, baby. One owner, no accidents, only 88,000 miles on this puppy. Let me tell you, and it's not going to last with a price tag of $6,788. That 88 keeps coming into prices. I think someone's stuck on that number. You figure it out. Come see us. Pulling up right now, 2014 Chevy Equinox ILT. Again, 3 letters I know nothing about. I'm going to have to go in there and learn something. All-wheel drive, power moonroof. This is a new car trade-in. Only, listen to this, 51,339 miles on it. You won't find this anywhere else. Come on down. And that's the new arrivals at Urka Auto Center.